welcome back to yet another Souls of Sorrels video. What I'm going to do today is go through what's in my first aid kit, which I have for Scarlett. Basically, the biggest thing I have is bandaging material. So this is the real thick cotton that you use mainly to bandage legs. You would want to use this as a padding layer. Then I also have lots of rolls of this kind of gauzy bandaging material, again, to wrap things up. I've got conforming bandage. So this is kind of a thinner, stretchy type of bandage material that you use as an outer layer once you have your other layers of bandaging on. And then to completely encase things, we finish it off with vet wrap. And if you have animals, you're probably familiar with vet wrap. It's a kind of sticky, stretchy outer layer that we use for kind of protecting everything underneath. So most of my first aid kit is comprised of bandaging materials. I also have this tape, which is incredibly sticky. But if you're worried about your bandages slipping, I will apply this around the top edge against the skin and the bandage to kind of keep it in place. And you could use this for all kinds of purposes, but it's really, really sticky, so it's hard to get off without pulling a bunch of hair off. And then the other things I've got in here, I have a couple of non-adherent bandages. You would use these as your first layer right against the wound. You can put your ointment on and then put this over top to kind of seal everything in, and then you would apply your bandages on top. So this just helps so that the bandaging material doesn't stick to the wound, because that can be painful when you're trying to take it off. But we also have a couple other items in here. So one of these items is Furazone cream. This is basically an antibacterial topical treatment for any kind of cuts or abrasions. It's this fantastic yellow color, but it does help things heal really nicely. So think of this kind of like your Neosporin that you put on boo-boos. And then I also have this kind of multi-purpose ointment that I got from Tamara. Before I put my kit together, Scarlett had cut her leg, and Tamara just happened to have this extra container of ointment, so I used this on her at first. This one I don't like quite as much because it's really kind of sticky and hard to wash off, but you know, it gets the job done. And then I also have this Vatricin hydrogel, which is an antimicrobial spray that you can spray onto wounds, and it's kind of antimicrobial, anti-itch, soothing. It's water resistant, so it helps kind of create like a barrier on injuries. In here I have some bute paste, and bute is an anti-inflammatory, so it's kind of like Advil for horses. Anytime that they might be feeling pain, it's a good one for relieving that for them. Then I also have Flunixin meglumine. This is another form of anti-inflammatory. It's just a different type and different dosage. So just kind of depending on the situation, you might want to choose this one over bute. Bute is the more common one that's used. Then I also have a big 60 milliliter oral syringe. I was planning on just using this to condition her, putting maybe some applesauce in here to condition her to accept oral medications, dewormers, and things like that. But I haven't really gotten around to that sort of conditioning training yet, but that was what I had intended for this big syringe. Just as an addendum, I added these nippers to my first aid kit. These are for removing loose shoes, and I would highly recommend them for anyone's first aid kit if you know how to remove a shoe. Other than that, that is really it for my first aid kit. If there's anything else that I add to it, I can let you guys know. And if you have any questions, you can comment down below. Remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more horse content.